We've covered characters, so now it's time to get into support cards. As opposed to last year, this time I'm going to go over a card's effects in addition to their skills, and I'm even going to try and slow it down a little bit to give more than a 4-second window to read the effects and skills if you're so inclined. Aren't I just so courteous? Notes for this video before we get into it. First off, if you don't know what friendship bonus, hint effect up, or anything of that ilk means, you're going to want to make a pit stop to this video before you watch this one for maximum analysis understanding. Furthermore, I'm looking at the stats for these cards when they're max limit broken, so my analysis will be coming from if you have 5 copies of the card. The stats in particular will be significantly different if you only have 1 copy, so when I show you a card that has some insane stat, just note that if you're committed to it, you're going to have to really commit to it to make it that good. On that topic, since I am ridiculous, uninformed, and don't follow the meta, there's a non-zero chance that I say something stupid. So if you're wondering if you should save for a card, that's going to have to be a decision you make. All I got are funny numbers and words. Once again, my information comes from GameTora, so some of the skills and definitions either don't exist or haven't been translated, so to reiterate, if you see stuff like Chaser, Betweener, Leader, and Runner under skill names, those translate to End Closer, Late Surger, Pace Chaser, and Front Runner respectively. There are plenty of people who are predicting when the banners will release, but I've chosen to ignore them because I am mathematically ignorant. My prediction for release dates, as it was in the character video, will be assuming 4 banners a month. Will that be how it actually turns out? Maybe, who knows. But if we follow that path of logic, then we should get the final original Year 1 SSR cards, Admire Vega and Machikane Fukitaru, around the end of January. As before, behold, a list. If you want to see everything covered up to that point, check out last year's video, which I'll put a card up for now because I'm not covering them in every excruciating detail again in this video. As such, our journey begins with Sasami Anshinzawa. Anshinzawa is the most evil person in the known universe. She's got good event recovery and event effects, but those are her only real redeeming qualities. She has a chance to get you purple skills from set events, which are more often than not bad in case you couldn't tell. What's worse, her unique effects make her show up more often. No! Games during questionable strategy are also skills that have a chance to mess with runs and draining stamina. At least Umastan is here though. And we've got another rerun banner here basically immediately. Don't worry, we won't have one for a while. Next we've got Nishino Flower. This is a great wit card for wit training specifically, as her unique effect grants her a wit bonus, she already has a speed bonus, and you can get an initial wit bonus for bringing her. Having a friendship gauge already filled to 30% doesn't hurt either, and neither does her specialty priority. Updrafters seems a little out of place, but she also has shifting gears, which pairs nicely with her Pace Chaser skill offerings. Determined Descent is a fine gold skill as well, so long as there are hills to go down. Sakura Bakshen O is really great in the hint department, as she gets a high hint level effect, which as you'll recall increases the discount on hints, and a high hint frequency up effect. Her friendship bonus and mood effect are nothing to sneeze at either. She comes with plenty of sprint skills that activate when you're leading or otherwise in front of the pack, so I'd recommend her particularly for frontrunners and to a lesser extent pace chasers. This card also features 3 different red skills, 2 of which panic and extend panic on front runners. Her unique effect awards a training bonus when she isn't in the Guts facility, so you get boost when you ignore Guts. Her gold skill is in High Spirits, which increases speed so long as you're leading, which is what all good frontrunners strive for. Agnes Digital is here with dirt support. Finally! Firstly, her unique effect awards a training bonus if you're bringing cards of at least 5 different types, which people in early year would scoff at. This is a power card that awards both a power and stamina bonus, as well as having the same hint boosts as Bakshen before her. She's got good other boosts as well, such as a friendship and mood effect, and an initial friendship effect of 25. Accompanying this are some dirt skills, including her gold skill, which improve overtaking abilities. She gets a single Pace Chaser and Late Surger skill, but the presence of Umastan is better for Late Surgers in my opinion, which may or may not be bad. And thus the next rerun, this time featuring Kawakami Princess and that other card people won't stop talking about. Happy anniversary. Sort of. The joke is that this was the original first year anniversary card, do you get it? Top Road's unique effect builds a training boost every 10,000 fans you have, which means you better be racing in every single G1 on your schedule. Her other boosts all sit around the decent to good realm, but she does have both a speed and power bonus. She features an even amount of middle and long distance skills that work in conjunction with her Pace Chaser skills, so either works. Good track condition is Firm Condition's advanced version and is good to get on most anybody, so you've got some good options here. Marvelous Sunday has a really high motivation bonus when her bond gauge is full, which is assisted by her initial friendship gauge starting at 20. Thanks to her unique skill, she also gets all 3 training bonuses in mood, friendship, and training bonus. She gets initial speed, initial power, and a guts bonus, really hitting all over the place. There are lots of general skills on this card, but Ramp Up is good for late surges and end closers since it has more of a chance to activate for them, hopefully late in the race, so I designated her there. Her gold skill is a long distance stamina recovery skill, which is definitely helpful for those types of races. Her skill pool is pretty deep with hesitant frontrunners and pace chasers as well as tail held high and straightaway recovery. Another rerun, this time with Zeno, Rob Roy, and Curran-chan if you want those cards, follows that up. Then Symboli Rudolph's unique effect grants an initial stat up depending on what cards you bring, so if you bring 5 speed cards, you get a 50 boost if that's your thing. Very good hint effects and decent friendship bonus and training bonuses here. She also features a good specialty priority, initial friendship gauge, and a guts bonus, which is great for a stamina card. You can get hints for every subdued red skill in addition to tether thanks to this card, and she also gets access to medium straightaways and corners. All that there is jumps off the page is a good skill as well. Burning Spirit is a great gold skill, especially for late surgers and enclosers, who are more likely to be boxed in, and Soft Step is especially good for either of those strategies as well, but I'm not sure if that's really enough to recommend her for either of those categories by themselves, so she can probably work for any of them. On the same banner, Sirius Symboli's unique effect grants a friendship bonus of 15% if you train with her 5 times. That's added on to her natural friendship bonus for a total of 35%, and she has a really high mood effect of 60%. She has a very high specialty priority, which couples well with her wit and speed bonus, also making this a very strong wit card. She also gets 2 late surger skills from hints and 1 pace chaser skill from events for some reason, but her middle distance skills work for a racer who keeps behind. Rise from the Ashes in particular is a really good gold skill since it helps with overtaking on the final leg. Following that up, we've got Daiwa Scarlet. A power bonus of 2 from her unique effect is huge. Remember that when you get a bonus like this, it's added to the base stat before it's multiplied, so if it's a 2, that's really good. She also has a stamina bonus of 1, an initial friendship gauge of 30, so it won't nearly take you as long to get to that 80 bond, which in case you didn't know is the point at which your gauge is orange. She comes loaded with several pace chaser skills including stamina to spare, preferred position, and prepared to pass. Her gold skill, Fierce Competition, increases acceleration on the final leg. This is a great card for any pace chaser realistically, and especially for middle or long distance ones, since she does come with 1 skill for each. Another rerun for 2 frontrunner cards, and Ines Fujin and Twin Turbo follows that up. Bamboo Memory's unique effect is for gamblers only, which is to say not me, because I fear risk. Sources are also unclear on how much of a boost you actually get. Otherwise, a specialty priority of 65 is pretty good, and she gets a speed bonus and guts bonus of 1, as well as fine friendship and training bonuses. Homestretch Haste is one of my favorite skills, and other than that she has a lot of mild distance and late surger skills, namely Outer Swell for the latter and Updrafters for the former. Her gold skill, Unstoppable Force, ties in well with late surgers, so while she does get 1 whole sprint skill, she's probably best for the mile surger category. On the same banner, Seeking the Pearl's unique effect is the exact inverse of Bamboo Memories, which naturally means I like it more. She has a lot more boons, including a skill point bonus of 1, an initial power bonus of 30 for some reason, while having the same specialty priority as Bamboo Memory and an initial friendship gauge of 30, which seems to replace the training bonus for a better friendship bonus. Skill-wise, she does have a few pace chaser skills, but you already know that since her gold skills for late surgers, that's where I'm gonna stick her. She gets a mix of mile and sprint skills, so she can be used for either category, although you may not get what you're really after. Firm Conditions and Umastan round out what seems to be a very good card. Straight Course, I'm also saying right now, is great for an amount of courses you can count on at most 1 finger. Mr. CB's unique effect grants her a skill point bonus and wit bonus, which goes on top of her natural other one when her bond is at least 80. She also has a speed bonus of 1, so you get a lot of multipliers from this one card itself. She starts with an initial friendship gauge filled at 20, gets a wit recovery bonus, and has a specialty priority of 50. She has good hint effects and all 3 training bonuses as well. She's only got end closure skills, which include her gold skill, which increases speed in the middle leg. Speaking of which, Tail Held High is great here because she has quite a few skills that activate on the middle leg. I'm also a big fan of Straightaway Spurt. She gets 1 whole middle distance skill, so I'll stick her there, but she can probably be used for any end closer. Another rerun here for Rice Shower and Machikane Fukitaru, 2 cards that sure are cards. Urara's unique effect adds a skill point bonus to her natural boost, giving her a bonus of 2. Urara's cards are normally famous for having good stats but no skills, and that is not different here, with all 3 training bonuses, an initial power bonus, and race bonuses, but only 2 skills. The only place I can really recommend her is for late surger, and her support hint skill gain is fine if that's what you're about. While she probably can work for anybody, the only place I can really recommend her specifically is for late surgers, and her support skill hint gain is fine if that's what you're about. Akunodictus has the same vague unique effect in slightly more different terms, as it's to do with the total bond of all your supports, so if you leave out one like I always somehow inexplicably do, then you're missing out. She's got a good friendship and mood effect, and good hint effects as well as gaining a stamina bonus and initial guts boost. She only has late surger skills, and a couple of them are red skills, so you know I'm excited. She also gets a few stamina skills, so she covers a lot for the surger category as a whole. Her gold skill is pushing forward, which expends stamina in the middle leg for a speed increase, which would hopefully keep her from getting stuck, or if she is stuck, getting unstuck. Another rerun. This time we have a variety choice of Chiyo and Ayabe. What's a variety choice? Tiki Shuttle gets a speed and skill point bonus at bond level 80, which gives her a 2 in speed bonus and an additional 1 in power bonus. She has the maximum hint effects even in current year over in Japan, coupled with a great specialty priority and good friendship and training bonuses to boot. She has a metric crap ton of mile distance skills that work well when she's in the lead, so she could work for frontrunners or pace pace chasers, but a few activate when passing another racer and she does get prepared to pass, so I think she would work best for pacers. Not that runners don't pass other runners, but pacers do so more than a runner would, especially a well-trained one. Mile Maven, on the other hand, is likely good for both as it provides a speed boost when in a high placement. L's unique effect grants a higher training bonus and more cards are at her facility, so you have to rely a lot on RNG to make the most out of it. She does provide an initial guts boost as well as a guts bonus, has a good initial friendship gauge fill and specialty priority and good friendship bonuses as well. Her hint bonuses are pretty good too. She's got a lot of pace chaser skills, so she should definitely be considered for them, and one whole middle distance skill, so I guess that's a benefit. But as per usual, you can probably use her for any pace chaser. Her gold skill, Speed Star, operates the same way as Triumphant Pulse does for Aguri Cap, and she's got plenty of skills that activate in several different parts of the race. Machikane Tanhauser's Wit Friendship Recovery goes all the way up to 10 so long as her bond gauge is full. It's pretty easy to get there considering she starts at 30 at max level. She also has a Wit and Speed bonus and initial Wit and Speed of 30 and 20 respectively, so I guess you could say you're off to the races with this card. Aside from good friendship bonuses, Tanhauser has skills that subscribe to no strategy, but a lot of good passing skills, including her gold skill, which grants a speed boost in the middle of the race and assorted stamina recovery skills. You already know that since I saw the words jammed and blocked, I'd recommend her for a closer or surger, but she can also probably be used for a pace chaser. Air Groove's unique effect awards a power and skill point bonus when her bond is at least 80, and she has a natural stamina bonus of 1. She also has an initial stamina and power boost of 20, and great mood effect that couples with a good friendship bonus. She's built for late surges and has 1 mile and 1 middle distance skill, which doesn't necessarily mean she's stuck there due to her plethora of surger skills. Concealed Readiness goes off at the start of the race when you may not need to recover as much stamina, but hey, stamina recovery is stamina recovery. She also seems built for anti-goldship reasons, and I swear I've made that joke before. The Throne's Assemblage is our first group card. If you don't know how this works, it means you get to go on outings with Teao, Symboli Rudolf, and Suramaru Tsuyoshi, who will definitely be added very quickly after this card. Because of that, they get no skill hints, and you can only get skills from events, but before that, their unique effect gets you a skill point bonus of 2 when their bond is above 80, and they're all treated as 1 bond gauge, don't worry. They also get event effect increases, a speed bonus, wit friendship recovery, and friendship and training boosts. The skills you get from the recreation events are Fighting Spirit, Prudent Positioning, Full Throttle, Nakayama Racecourse, and the gold skill Photon Slash. Since these are pretty easy to get, then this would probably be good skill-wise for middle distance late surgers, but there is Pace Chaser straightaways tucked in there, so this could be good for middle distancers in those categories in general. Marzenski's unique effect boosts training effectiveness by 5 per every level on the training facility she ends up at. More often than not, that'll hopefully be speed thanks to her specialty priority, and she also gets a good speed and power bonus. She also has a decent friendship bonus, mood effect, and hint bonuses. Marzenski's skill pool is absolutely loaded with frontrunner skills, with 4 alone coming from events and 10 total skills and hints alone, which I'm pretty sure is the most we've seen so far. Her gold skill, Top Runner, makes it easier for her to speed up and take the lead early race, which can be made even easier with other skills like early lead and leader's pride. Another funny Nakayama Festa unique effect of making the current training fail rate 0% 20% of the time, and mathematically speaking, that's basically a coin flip if you really think about it. She's got all 3 training bonuses, particularly high numbers in mood and training, great hint bonuses, a wit and skill point bonus, and wit recovery effect. She's packed with good stats and a crap ton of skills from support hints. She does get risky skills like Questionable Strategy, which becomes the gold skill Gamester, but has a lot of other skills that help counteract that, although 777s may not be enough. If I were a meta following guy, I might recommend looking into this one a bit. Then we've got another rerun banner, this time with a slightly familiar looking card alongside Yukino Bijin. Manhattan Cafe continues her run of being a good stamina card with a stamina boost of 2 when her bond is at 80, a specialty priority of 35, and an initial friendship gauge at 20. She has low hint boosts and a good friendship and training bonus, as well as skill point bonus of 1 and incredibly a guts bonus of 2 as well. She gets Stamina Eater, which is one of my favorite skills, and is stacked with long distance skills. Including her gold skill, she gets 3 stamina recovery skills that all have very easy activating requirements. She also has both long corners and long straightaways. I would once again argue that since passing is so important to this skill set that a surger or closer might make the most use out of it, but Cafe may be good for any long distancer. I'm not actually sure if Light Hello's card will come out here because this seems to be tied to the Grand Live scenario. If it remains that way, then it should come out after Cafe, but if Grand Live is dropped at a different time, it'll probably be some other date. In any case, let's act like she is, but I won't put a date here just in case. Light Hello's unique effect decreases energy cost, which is another standalone effect that she already has, and increases training effectiveness wherever she shows up as well. She also decreases failure rate by 30% from her facility, and grants initial speed and guts to go with her event effect boosts. Friend cards aren't exactly known for their skills over their scenario usage, so she gets access to both Pace Chaser and Frontrunner Savvy, meaning she should probably be used for one of those. Sorry Gotta Go will obviously also work for either of those strategies. All in all, cards like this are best used for their scenario anyway, so she can probably be used for anyone if you want to use her in Grand Live. If Light Hello isn't around this day, then it would rob us of arguably the second coming of Kita-san Black in the Agnes Tachyon SSR speed card. For comparison's sake, She has a much higher friendship bonus thanks to her unique effect and hint effects than Kitasan Black. She has slightly lower but still incredibly high specialty priority, and aside from not offering a mood effect and power bonus, she grants a speed bonus, skill point bonus, and initial speed of 35. She does also lack Kita's race bonus. As for skills, she offers several middle distance and pace chaser skills, as well as the odd late surger skill and tether that we don't have to talk about. The deeper we get into umamusume, the more everyone's going to realize that most racers are either middle distance pace chasers or have aptitudes in one of the two, so this card should see a lot of usage. Her gold skill also increases speed in the middle leg in case you were curious. It's surprisingly plain compared to the stat bonus. Back on track with Teao, who seems to have played too much Final Fantasy for some reason. Teao has that vague unique effect of more bond equaling higher training effect, but also has pretty good friendship bonus and hint effects. Her specialty priority and starting bond are pretty good as well, and as a wit card, she does get wit friendship recovery. You'll see the same maneuverability skills we've come to expect on this Teao card, and we finally have a new card that offers Professor of Curvature as a gold skill, just like Kitasan Black, which I've now mentioned 2 times in a row. She's also got 2 stamina recovery skills and a sea of middle distance and pace chaser skills. Twin Turbo gets a lot of crazy good effects, from her high training bonus granted from her unique effect to her very high hint bonuses and specialty priority. She also grants a power and skill point bonus of 1 and a speed bonus of 2, which is wild for a Guts card. As you may expect with Turbo, she's armed with a bunch of runner skills like the ones you've already seen before in Early Lead and Leader's Pride, but also comes with Moxie and arguably good green skills in Competitive Spirit and Target Insight, given how everybody loves frontrunners. 1000% output is definitely a twin turbo skill, and you'll need to make sure you're packing extra stamina recovery skills if you want to use it. Here's another frontrunner heavy rerun with Silent Suzuka and Smart Falcon. Dichi Ruby gets a power bonus of 2 when her bond is above 80, and with a specialty priority of 80 and friendship bonus of 30, you're gonna get a lot of power from this card. She also starts with friendship at 35 and gets you an initial power and guts at 30 and an additional skill point bonus of 1. Ruby gets sprint mile and sprint mile skills, which suggests to me, a thinker, that she could be good for either of those distances. Her gold skill, Lightning Speed, is one of those duo skills and activates when you're behind in the final leg. Add that to her collection of late surger skills and what I would call an excessive but not unappreciated amount of red skills for those high wit enthusiasts out there, and you've got a really good card here for those who can take advantage of it. This is pretty early for Halloween cards, but to be fair, it was also a little early in Japan too. Mejiro Palmer gets the effect of the better the energy, the better the training, but also gets a specialty priority at 80, which is what I'm really impressed with since we're now seeing 2 whole cards in a row with that. She's also got a good friendship bonus and hint bonuses and grants initial guts and stamina of 30. Palmer gets both frontrunner and long distance skills, which include some stamina usage reduction and your standard frontrunner skills in early lead and final push. Groundwork is also here in case you want to make use of frontrunner savvy in addition to those. Her gold skill is an enhanced version of early lead and gets you in the lead quicker. Imagine activating your gold skill immediately. Hilarious. Not so much a Halloween themed card despite being on the same banner. Helios grants initial stats for each type of card you bring and has really good hint effects and a speed bonus of 2 and skill point bonus of 1. Her specialty priority is still good but not 80 and gets initial friendship at 25 and a friendship bonus of 30. This time it's a frontrunner mile card and pretty much all of her yellow skills activate when either directly behind another runner or trying to increase or maintain crazy leads. Her gold skill activates if she's following a runner for 3 seconds, which can happen at literally any point of the race, so its usage will vary, but runners want to be in the lead whenever they can, so it's not all bad. And then Fine Motion is back for yet another rerun with Marzenski, and then suddenly another rerun. Much like the Seeking the Pearl character banner, I'm not really sure why this is here since we literally just got her. It's also not in the normal rotation in Japan, so who knows if this banner will actually happen. Symboli Kris S gets a guts bonus of 2 when her bond is above 80 and has an initial friendship gauge of 30. Twice in a row now have we had a card with a specialty priority of 50, which is something I have to point out for some reason. She's got good hint and race bonuses, all 3 training bonuses, which are decent to good, and additional skill point bonus. Her skills are mostly late surger skills, but also has some long distance skills thrown in there as well. Corner recovery and passing pro are of course great for long distancers who really need to maintain stamina. Her gold skill, which evolves from Devil May Care, is a fantastic skill that increases stamina consumption to increase acceleration in the last spurt, which is ideal for, of course, late surgers. It is limited to long distance late surgers specifically, but this is a skill pretty much any in that category should try to get. A Great Gap is such a good friend to everyone that her unique effect fills all friendship gauges by 5. Here you see your typical wit bonuses, but she also gets a wit bonus of 2 and a speed bonus of 1. Third card in a row with a specialty priority of 50, by the way. The trend of good hint and race bonuses also apply, as do good training and friendship bonuses. She gets an insane amount of skills from events, and most are either for pace chasers, which is where she gets 2 stamina recovery and the 2 straightaway and corner skills, and middle distance, which are dependent on positioning. 777s is also another good skill I like to point out whenever it comes up, which I've hopefully been doing. Her gold skill, like Kris S's, is another one that only works for middle distance pace chasers, but if you're not using her wide skill pool for them, then you must have ulterior motives. From the same banner, Yano Muteki once again wins the award for hardest SSR image ever, since her last card took that award. She has an insane guts bonus of 3 when her bond gauge is full, which also starts at 35 at max level. She also gives a skill point bonus of 1, and you get initial guts, speed, and power. Good race and hint bonuses, and a fine friendship bonus, and good training bonus. Homestretch haste is again one of those skills I love so much, and she gets quite a few middle distance skills to go with 2 pace chaser skills and prepared to pass and hydrate. Killer Tunes as a gold skill isn't all that, but there's enough here to make good use, particularly for middle distancers. Super Creek Rerun! Get to MLBing! Mr. CB is also here. Asian Flash's unique effect grants a power bonus and skill point bonus of 1 when her bond is above 80, which increases her overall power bonus to 2. She also gets a speed bonus of 2. You get initial speed and power at 20, and her friendship gauge starts at 30, where her specialty priority is 65. Are you sick of hearing me say good hint effects and training bonuses yet? If so, it's too late to back out now. Plenty of late surger support to be found here, and she gets a few middle distance skills as well. My favorite skill is Fighter, but she also gets late surger savvy, straightaways, and corners, the trifecta in one card. Her gold skill, Incisive Flash, is another really good surger skill, but it does just kinda activate on whatever straight, so let's just hope it's the last one, I guess. If you thought the Halloween cards were early, then Merry Christmas in October. Narita Brian gets a training bonus of 5% per level of the current training facility, so power deniers will have to make a tough call here. She's got a very high specialty priority, a stamina bonus of 2, and a skill point bonus, initial friendship gauge, and a decent friendship bonus. She has a couple skills in her toolkit that activate for 2 aptitudes, such as Pacer Long or Pacer Medium, but her gold skills for chasers or surgers. You're really only not getting use out of firm step, since I would recommend her for long distancers because she has so many skills for them, such as True Worth and Faultless. On the same banner, Air Groove then blesses us with a speed and skill point bonus when her bond is above 80, pushing her speed bonus to 2 in addition to a wit bonus of 1. Speed run, normal wit effects, good race and hit effects. She also gets all 3 training bonuses, a high specialty priority, and good friendship gauge. Her skill set has a bunch of late surger skills like Position, Pilfer, and Fearless Heart, and does get Updrafters as a mile distance skill, but she can pretty much work for any surger anywhere. Fast and Furious is a gold skill we've had since day 1 and activates in the middle of the race, which is still fine as it was on day 1. Just in case you love Grand Live, here's another rerun to get Light Hello featuring Mayano Top Gun. And here she is, the horse girl I associate with dirt races for no good reason. When Zephyr's bond is above 80, then you get a skill point bonus of 2, which is added on to a bonus of 1 in guts and speed. She also starts with a friendship gauge at 30, has good training bonus, and a decent friendship bonus, and gets you an initial speed of 30. Zephyr gets plenty of mile skills and 1 middle distance skill that's oddly similar to another mile skill she has. She also gets the same pace chaser skill from hints and events, and her gold skill is a pacer skill that evolves from ambitions, which makes it easier to catch up. Guess where I recommend her. Her skills help with passing ability and catching up in general, particularly in the middle of the race, which can get you in an advantageous position for the last spurt, hopefully. Special Week's New Year card, which is also projected to release in October on the T-Gimlet calendar for some reason, gets an insane mood effect in a rainbow training, so I hope you like training stamina. She gets a fine bonus to specialty priority and initial friendship gauge to assist with this, and has really good hint effects. She also gets all 3 training boosts thanks to her unique effect, and gets a stamina, guts, and skill point bonus of 1. While this card has strong stats, its skill pool is also pretty diverse. Not that that's a bad thing, but if you're trying to train something in particular, you may end up with something you don't want. She gets middle distance and long distance support, and while she doesn't have surger support, I'm inclined to believe that these skills work best for a surger or potentially a closer. Her gold skill is the next level version of Nimble Navigator, which pairs well with skills like All That There Is, and gets stamina recovery skills for both distances as well. New Year's Sweet Tosho specialty priority can get as high as 75 thanks to her unique effect, and gets a slight boost to initial friendship gauge to help get up to 80. Typical wit boons here, which include a 2 in wit bonus. All 3 training effects as well as great hint effects and a skill point bonus of 1. Sweet Tosho is made for end closers, but does get Murmur as 1 whole distance skill, so you know. We've seen most of these skills on her SR card, as they primarily assist with getting unstuck and increasing speed as end closers desperately need to do. Her gold skill increases acceleration on the final leg, which is of course vital for that strategy. Plenty of red skills, and After School Stroll is also a pretty good stamina recovery skill to get. So these last few cards were initially released in 2023, but that's just how it ends up when there are going to be 4 banners a month. So let's get started with a rerun, and then we follow that up with another rerun. Inconceivable. Alongside that rerun, however, is KS Miracle, who gets a power bonus of 2 for some reason when her bond is 80, which pairs with a guts bonus of 1 for this guts card. She starts with an initial friendship gauge at 20 and has a specialty priority of 65 and has really good friendship, mood, and hint effects. Her skill pool isn't very deep, and I don't really know why Updrafters is here, but she has support for sprint, and her gold skill is a pace chaser skill that increases acceleration on the final leg. She also gets pace chaser straightaways, which is pretty much going to go off in the final leg most of the time in sprints. Her sprint skill skills, also expect your Uma to be in front, so this is a decent card all around for that category. Her gold skill helps with acceleration in the final leg, so long as you're ahead, which as we all know, good pacers should be. Marvelous Sunday gets a training boost of 15 when her bond is full, which gets her all 3 training bonuses. She starts with a friendship gauge of 20, gets a good specialty priority, great hint effects, and a speed, power, and skill point bonus of 1. This card has long and middle distance support, of which most are designed to activate for surgers and closers, but she does get Devil May Care, which as we've seen before is a long distance surger skill. But you don't have to worry about it if you're building a long closer or middle distance surger. One chance in all that there is makes me prefer this card for middle distancers, but it's got a lot of applications. Stamina Eater is here and she gets loads of stamina support, including her gold skill, which activates when passed by a runner in the middle leg. Our next card, Biko Pegasus, has the unique effect of more maximum energy, granting a higher training effectiveness. I have no evidence to suggest this, but from her chain events, she gets a +8 maximum energy, so if we theorize it's 1 per 1%, it's not that enticing. But I'm not entirely sure what the calculation is. Apart from that, she's got good specialty priority, initial friendship gauge of 30, initial power of 35, and gets you a power and skill point bonus of 1. Her skills are definitely built for late surgers, including ones labeled for sprints. So King Halo is ready for this card. Position Pilfer, Nimble Navigator, and particularly Mighty Leap are good for making your final push so long as they activate that way, and her gold skill is Incisive Slash, which we've seen before on Asian Flash. Since it's already been 2 banners, clearly we need another rerun banner featuring Nishino Flower and Marzenski. Here we've got our 3rd year anniversary SSR and Mejiro Ramonu. Don't think about it too hard. Her unique skill increases her training bonus by 4% for every speed increasing skill on your trained unit up to 20, which isn't bad, but it will take a while to get there. Ramonu's got a wit bonus of 2 and recovery of 5 that go with a maximum number of hint levels and frequency bonuses, a great specialty priority, and good friendship bonus. Ramonu would probably work better for middle distance pacers since she has firm step, which evolves into the gold skill Ascendance, as well as good middle distance support in both corners and straights, as well as all I've got in Fighting Spirit. She also has quite a bit of mile support, which also includes corners and straights as well as shifting gears and unyielding spirit. It's a little tough for me to call one way or the other, but she would definitely have the skill depth necessary for each category. Here we have another rerun that runs alongside the back half of Ramonu's banner, so I guess this is a 1.5 banner? You're too far in to question me now, sucker. Since I know you wanted to see more group cards, here's Ancestors and Guides, which is obviously tied into the Grandmaster scenario. I'm pretty sure this card dropped after this scenario did, but let's proceed with the card before we get too confused over release schedules. Their unique effect increases friendship, mood, and skill point bonuses when their bond is full, and if you want to take full advantage of them, then that's pretty much going to be the base requirement. They feature an innate speed, power, and stamina bonus, as well as granting wit, friendship recovery up, and initial power and friendship. The gold skill Divine Speed doesn't play to any aptitude, and this card just so happens to have skills for every distance with a little more in sprint and long, but realistically, it's going to be fine for anybody to take advantage of. 777s, Ramp Up, and Corner Attempt are also decent skills for anybody to make use of. Nice Nature's unique effect grants an insane power bonus of 3 when her bond is full, and thankfully at level 50 she gets an initial friendship gauge of 30. Accompanying this are skill point and stamina bonuses, good friendship and mood bonuses, a good specialty priority, and good hint bonuses. This card's got good stats all around, and as far as her skill pool goes, it's pretty much all late surger and closer support. Her only skill with an aptitude is the late surger skill Slick Surge, so that's where I've marked her, but realistically her general skills such as Home Stretch Haste, Uma Stand, Tail Held High, and Nimble Navigator to name a few can be taken advantage of by anybody. In the right place would probably work better for the surgers or closers of the world, but this is just a good power card that I could see getting some good use. That being said, on the same banner is an excellent stamina card in Mejiro McQueen. Not only does McQueen get a stamina bonus of 3 when her bond is full to go with an innate guts bonus of 2, but she has an insanely high specialty priority of 80, which in current year is only beaten by Kita-san Black and Saiyan Sky. So you're going to be getting a lot of friendship trainings with McQueen in your deck. Aside from that, her friendship bonus is good, and she has an initial friendship gauge of 20 with low hint bonuses. McQueen also comes with a cavalcade of stamina recovery skills, including some specifically for long distances and extra tank and stay the course, which turns in the gold skill ahead of the game. Faultless is also available from events and works for pace chasers. Feature Ace as well as long corners and straights make this card nearly a must for any long distancers looking for that extra stamina they need for those races. And of course, the final banner of the year is a rerun banner with Asian Flash and Air Groove. Climatic. And that's all for support cards. I don't know why, but this felt like it was even more hard to make than the character one. Maybe it's because there were so many banners with multiple SSRs on it. But remember, the most meta card in this whole video was Yano Muteki because she looked cool, so I expect to see her on every deck.